This is a review of the DNS tools in ShofarNexus. This is a built-in tool and normally not available for casual viewing, but on the demo site there is no security and this can be freely viewed and experimented with. Be aware that the site is frequently wiped clean, so data can disappear. The site is at demo.shofarnexus.com. This video shows the September 12, 2018 version and updates may occur. Since no security is in place, the toolbar on the right is visible. From there, you can select the network section. While there are other things in place, for our purposes, we are interested in the DNS protocol. In this section, you will find diagnostic tools and documentation. Selecting the tool will bring up the diagnostic tool that will allow issuing arbitrary DNS queries and viewing all details about the query. This is a static, scriptless page, therefore all functions are form entry and a button or simply a link. To prepare a query, a name needs to be entered in the query area. A server needs to be selected. The ICANN routes, both IPv4 and IPv6, can be directly selected or some other common providers, plus the local host. The option area allows for various query options to be selected. Each time data is entered or an option is selected, the query is submitted. The page response is delayed a fraction of a second to allow time for most queries to return and display all data. If the response does not come back in time, only the query is shown, and to see the response does require clicking on the active query. For our example, we will query for the demo site without recursion. First enter the domain name and click Send Query. If the name server has already been selected, a response will be returned. For our example, we will assume none has. We will also assume the default options of protocol UDP, opcode standard, recursion desired, false, and question type, all. Select a name server. For this example, we'll use the ICANN A4 server by simply clicking A4. The request and response should be shown. In the NetDNS area, we can see the header of the request and response. In the NetDNS record area, we can see the list of records in the request and response. We should see the list of .com name servers returned by the root and some IPs for those name servers. An IP of the A or quadruple A record can be clicked to place it in the name server IP and issue another query. We should then see the list of ShofarNexus.com name servers returned and again click on the IP. We should now see the response for the authoritative demo.shofarnexus.com and have the IP. We have the basic functionality of the tool. Now let's look at some details. Queries are tied to a NetSocket object, which has a unique identifier. In the widget on the right is a list of recent queries. Selecting a query will make it active and can be seen as part of the URL. In the menu on the left under Tool are several ways to view the selected query or NetSocket. While normally you will see the log of the query in the flyer on the right, by clicking Log in the menu, it will show a wide version so more detail can be seen. You can now select other queries in the widget to move between them and the log view. The XML button will show the raw XML file that describes the NetSocket. This is the container for all data in the query. There are two more XML options that will show the data as a full page as XML to allow browser tools and highlighting, or as text, which is useful if the file is to be saved via the browser. You will have to use the browser's back button to return to the tool. The socket button will show the dump of the NetSocket object. These object dumps typically show the object kind and relations at the top, human-readable versions of data in the object, and then the hex, ASCII, and UTF-8 dump of the object itself. The query and response buttons show a dump of the applicable NetDNS object. The neighboring Stream button shows a dump of the applicable NetStream object. You will probably have to scroll down if you want to see the hex dump of the actual message. A NetStream has a header and body, but for a DNS query, only the body is present. Feel free to play. You can make valid and invalid queries, but you're unlikely to break anything in doing so. While most of the underlying network functionality has been present for years in ShofarNexus, this is a rewrite in progress of the diagnostic tools, which is impacting the lower level design. If you are viewing the September 12th version, you will find that the NetDNS tool is being used to experiment with and refine the interface. Other tools are in progress, and an effort is being made to make them consistent with the DNS tool interface. Comments, questions, and suggestions can be emailed to john@shofarnexus.com. Enjoy!